Good day po sa lahat, si Fiscal EJ po ito. Some people insist na dapat Filipino judge or Philippine court lang daw ang pwedeng mag-issue ng warrant na enforceable sa Pilipinas. Pero kung babasahin talaga natin ang 1987 Constitution, wala namang ganong requirement. Article 3, Section 2 only states na ang warrant must be issued by a judge after determining probable cause. Hindi sinabi ng Constitution na dapat Philippine judge, Filipino judge, or local court. At sa constitutional law, we don't add words to the Constitution that the Constitution itself never wrote. Ngayon, may nagsasabi naman na hindi raw inisip ng framers ng Constitution ang international courts like the ICC kasi wala pa naman ang ICC noong 1987. Tama, pero mahina ang argument na yan. Bakit? Because constitutional provisions must be read together, not in isolation. Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution expressly states that the Philippines adopts the generally accepted principles of international law as part of the law of the land. Importante yan. Ibig sabihin, alam ng Constitution na magkakaroon talaga ng interaction between Philippine law and international law. Hindi ginawa ang Constitution para ikulong ang Pilipinas sa isang legal bubble na hiwalay sa international community. At kahit wala pang ICC noon, matagal na pong may international tribunals. Nandyan ang Nuremberg Trials after World War II, the Tokyo Tribunals, at later yung Tribunals for Yugoslavia and Rwanda. Matagal nang nabubuo ang principle na may mga krimen tulad ng crimes against humanity na sobrang seryoso kaya concern na siya ng buong international community. Kaya ang Constitution natin was written broadly enough para payagan ng Pilipinas na sumali sa treaties at kilalanin ang international legal mechanisms kung gugustuhin ng Estado. And that is exactly what happened. Congress enacted Republic Act 9851 in 2009, then the Senate ratified the Rome Statute in 2011. Mga sovereign acts yan ng Philippine state. At under Republic Act 9851 itself, kinikilala mismo ng Philippine law ang jurisdiction ng international tribunals like the ICC over crimes against humanity. So kung kinilala na natin ang authority ng ICC to investigate, prosecute, and try these crimes, logically, dapat kilalanin din natin ang legal processes nila, including the ICC warrants of arrest. Otherwise, the ICC's jurisdiction would become meaningless. Hindi pwedeng kinikilala mo yung power to prosecute, pero nire-reject mo naman yung legal mechanisms na kailangan para gumana yung prosecution. And remember, bago nag-issue ng warrant ang ICC judges first reviewed the evidence and determined that probable cause existed. Therefore, may judicial determination na. Dumaan na po sa legal process. The issue is not nationality. Hindi ang tanong kung Pilipino ba ang judge. Ang tanong, may judicial finding ba ng probable cause bago inilabas ang warrant? And the answer is a resounding yes. Now let's talk about another common argument involving Article 59 of the Rome Statute. May mga politicians at lawyers gaya ni Attorney Panelo na nagsasabing dapat daw munang dumaan sa Philippine Court ang ICC warrant bago magkaroon ng arrest.
It's not enforceable immediately. You have to go through the courts as required by Article 59 of the Rome Statute itself. And this coincides with our constitutional requirements that before you arrest somebody, you have to comply with the requirements of Article 3, Section 2 of the Constitution. A judge should determine personally probable cause after examining witnesses and so forth. So for us, you can't automatically implement a warrant of arrest.
Pero kung babasahin talaga ang Article 59, hindi naman yan ang sinasabi. Very clear ang sequence under Article 59. Step 1, the requested state shall immediately take steps to arrest the person. And step 2, after the arrest, saka palang dadalhin ang tao before a competent judicial authority o sa local court kung tawagin. So ano lang ba ang role ng local court under Article 59? Hindi magre-review ulit ng probable cause. Hindi magre-reassess ng evidence. At lalong hindi magde-decide kung guilty or innocent ba ang taong inaresto. Ang role lang ng local court is to check tamang tao ba ang inaresto, na-respect ba ang rights niya during the arrest, at properly informed ba siya sa charges. Identity and procedural safeguards lang. Walang requirement sa Article 59 na kailangan may second probable cause determination muna from a Philippine judge bago ang arrest. Kasi po, ginawa na yan ng ICC judges bago pa inilabas ang warrant. So kapag sinasabi ng iba na kailangan munang i-validate ng Philippine courts ang ICC warrant bago magka-arrest, baliktad actually ang gusto nilang mangyari. Again, under Article 59, arrest first, judicial verification second. Pero ang gusto nila, judicial validation first bago pa magkaroon ng arrest. That creates a legal stalemate. Paano mo mare-review ang legality ng arrest kung yung arrest mismo ay hinaharangan mong mangyari? Now, yes, kinikilala ng Philippine Supreme Court in Pangilinan versus Cayetano na may residual jurisdiction pa rin ang ICC over acts committed habang state party pa ang Pilipinas sa Rome Statute. Meaning, valid pa rin ang ICC proceedings involving that covered period. Of course, dahil umatras na ang Pilipinas sa Rome Statute, hindi na tayo fully bound sa continuing cooperation mechanisms applicable to present state parties, which means hindi na rin mandatory na sundin ang procedure outlined in Article 59. In short po, pwedeng piliin ng government na huwag na dalhin sa local court for post-arrest judicial verification. At sa actual practice, ito rin naman ang ginawa ng gobyerno kay former President Rodrigo Duterte when he was arrested and brought to The Hague. Hindi na siya dumaan sa Article 59 style court proceeding bago isinuko sa ICC custody. But even assuming Article 59 still applies, it still does not require a Philippine court to conduct another probable cause determination before arrest. At most, Article 59 only contemplates a post-arrest judicial verification. So even under the Rome Statute itself, wala pong requirement giving the local court the power to redetermine probable cause for purposes of validating an ICC warrant. At the end of the day, this debate is no longer just about constitutional interpretation. The real question is, are we interpreting the law in good faith o gumagawa lang tayo ng procedural obstacles para siguraduhin hindi ma-enforce ang ICC warrants against powerful people? So yan lang po ang nais kong ibahagi today and see you in my next video. Maraming salamat po.